Everybody ready for session 3 of the watch?
Yes.
Are we down here? Can we tip up, hopefully, as opposed to continuing to nosedive further down?
No.
I mean, it's the last session, so if we want to crash and burn, we can.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like, fuck it. We're just going to kill this thing. Exactly. Fair enough.
Yeah, the last session, even the player characters are stolen cars.
So, how far did you get, Derek, so that I can figure out how much we need to recap you?
I'd say about halfway.
Okay. So, let's see. Let's see, end up having the attack. That goes poorly. Pele tosses another member of her clan to the shadow. We eventually win, and then let's see here. There's a dressing down of Ryestock. There was then a discussion about like what went wrong, which was kind of overheard by, well, not really overheard. The person who Pele threw to the shadow ended up being there when they were having their kind of discussion. Ryestock wanted to do some shadowy stuff with her that failed miserably. She screamed blood-curdlingly, got lots of other people to come over. Pele got her ass kicked. Ryestock got pretty roughed up as well. Siaf did nothing to help. Let's see here. Then you decided Siaf let the shadow in because of that. Apparently, Siaf then shadow controlled, killed off X amount of fellow watch members in the night. Esso, the lieutenant commander, wants Ryestock to find out who did it. Siaf has kind of sort of confessed to Pele and Ryestock that she did it, and they're trying to. Oh right, Esso beat the shit out of Ryestock, and then the last scene was in Pele's bunk, everybody having tea together and trying to decide what to do. Oh, and also Siaf was approached by a member of her tribe, of her clan, to help them become the new lieutenant commander by kind of like disgracing or whatever Esso, the current lieutenant commander. Ideas moving forward that were tossed around were saying that Esso was the one who killed everybody, just bailing on the whole garrison and trying to find some other place to go. Siaf confessing / turning themselves in, and Ryestock trying to work a miracle with that. Did I cover most of the bases there? Yeah, all right. So from a kind of a metagamey-ish side of things, which of these things seem like a direction you guys would want to go? Point the first. Point the second, are there any scenes that you guys would like to see happen in this final chapter? And I think whatever we see with regards to those two will likely inform how we bring Rezi back into this, I think. So, Rystock, do you have any preferences, or Michael?
Yeah, I think that I kind of, as much as it makes sense for us to just leave this fucking place, I really don't want to do that from a story perspective.
Okay.
I think we've already set up all these conflicts, and running away from them is the least interesting solution. I would rather have a confrontation with SO.
Okay. Kate, what do you think? Or what are you interested in?
We're all gonna die. I think we should stay and figure out what to do with this place. I think the only way we should leave if it's burning to the ground.
With a match in your hand?
That can be arranged.
I mean, you know, sometimes you need to just burn things.
All right.
Like a shadow-infested place. You know?
Garrett, what do you think? What are you interested in?
I love to fail, and what I want to fail on is escaping from this place. So
You want to try to get out and fail?
Yeah, I mean, for my characters, it makes sense.
What if we roll a success?
To try to leave, because this is our finale, and this is the place where we will see the final confrontation between the Shadow and us.
So,
make me fail one more time.
So when last we saw everybody, it was daytime. Rystock had until basically the night to figure out who to give SO a name. And I sense that there was if I remember correctly, there was going to be some sort of mission that day, but things got kind of sidelined because of the murders during the night. So if we need to do, if we start the session with a mission, which is in theory how it goes, the ones we have left are protect a supply caravan or save a village under attack. I'm trying to figure out what the urgency level is of those, and as to whether or not there could be some sort of connection with Rezi coming back, leading to either of those things occurring. Either Rezi coming back and like raising alarm that there's this village that's under attack. Yeah, I'm uncertain about how to do the supply caravan. So
yeah, the caravan seems less urgent than the village is under attack.
That said, Rezi just kind of like showing up, saying, "Oh, there's this village under attack." I'm sure that's not going to be suspicious at all.
Especially considering how I disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's possible that we don't know for sure that it could be somebody else shows up. Like we get like a rider that gives us notice that maybe is not connected to Rezi. I mean, that's an option as well.
Sure. And maybe, I mean, is the idea then that maybe Rezi is, and maybe Rezi is with the group that is attacking the village, being held hostage by them or something like that.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, that'd be a good side objective. That means we get more complications if we want to save Rezi.
Well, I mean, just to make it easier for us to kind of bring Derek back in, I think it'd be easier if we just kind of have Rezi kind of get free during the fight or something of that nature. It would make a little bit more sense that way, or at least make it easier for all of us. Okay. So,
Really quickly, I actually have a move. What is it? I think it's called Mama Bear. That basically just lets me appear in a scene for whatever reason.
I mean, that would be kind of fun if we got in trouble and like one of us was about to be executed or something, and you showed up out of the blue.
wow. Yeah.
It's when someone important to you feels threatened or is in danger, roll with Valor. On a hit, you show up right there and then with or without explanation. On a 10 plus, you take +1 on going for the scene. On a miss, the MC will tell you when you when you
Show up.
are not going to like it.
So, which of us are important to you?
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's a real question.
Billy got camaraderie with one of us.
Yeah, well, I have camaraderie with Rystock, but I think Pele, and if I remember correctly, we had kind of a little like come to Jesus moment in the last session I was there.
Yeah, I might have scolded you for not training people better.
Right.
That might have happened. Okay.
So, I don't know if that makes you caring about them, though, if it's just someone who scolded you.
It was implied that we trained people together,
Okay.
and that whenever she wasn't training someone, I would take them over until she could train them again. Like, we have like a working relationship.
Gotcha. Until you know.
And I think I care about her opinion of me.
Oh,
Ooh,
I'm sorry.
your loss. All right, let me.
I'll go into danger. I'm okay with that. I'm half beaten anyways.
Also, one other plot element that we could bring in, I don't know, that I was thinking of, I feel like as the spider, I should be engaging the shadow somehow. So, like, I was thinking of, like, at least early on in this session, I might be trying to find a way that I can use the shadow to either take down SO or find some other way out of our situation. I feel like last session I was not very spidery. I felt like I slipped into being a total lioness.
You were totally the leader. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly were wanting to. Sorry, you certainly were not doing a lot of the scary spidery stuff last time around. Anyway, okay. So why don't we? Okay. Why don't we go ahead and say that we'll say that during the day, a writer or a couple writers, harried writers, come to the garrison and let the garrison know that there is a town about let's say 3 miles away that is currently under attack by the shadow. They had been hoping, they had kind of hidden away their men and pushed and sent most of them behind the back lines, but some of them they kind of still kept around, and those somehow were a draw for the shadow to bring them there. And SO has sent you all with a small amount of people because she's not feeling particularly trusting, both of what might happen, because it seems like everything has been a feint and a trick as of late, and you guys are being you guys are expendable at this point in time. You're being problematic, to say the least. So,
We're being problematic.
So, let us go ahead and do the mission rolls. I'm going to have Rezi not participate in this, but I think we can bring Rezi in as an after, as part of the story as it goes.
If we bring it in as a side objective, that means we have to take one more complication.
Okay, I mean, if you guys are gunning for more complications, that's, I'm not going to complain about more complications.
Just floated the possibility. I'm open to it. Let me look at the rolls anyway, so I can figure that part of it out.
Yep.
Do we have a dice room?
Yes, I put it into the chat, but I can put it back in there again.
I don't think I was.
All right, so let's do the same thing as last time. We'll have Pele on point. I will be strategizing, and Siaf will be our scout.
And everybody mark jaded, please.
All right.
Well, minus Rezi.
I think I should be with them anyway, because I'm highly exposable at the moment.
Oh yeah, no, you'll be there.
And I might also have like a certain insight. I mean, I can imagine that they wouldn't let me go after such accusations so easily.
Well, I don't think you. I don't think you told anyone other than Pele and Rystock yet. So I think you
okay.
keep that under wraps.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I haven't told anybody yet. Good that we didn't continue play last time. I was about to tell everybody.
Yeah.
There'll be time for that. We just have to save this village now, and you can admit to everything, and we can confront us. So.
Yeah, let's relax our muscles until then a little bit. I think Shadow. I'm happily scouting.
All right. So who's doing what, Rystock?
I'm navigating strategize. Siaf is going to be doing recon, lookout, and Pele is going to take point.
All right. So why don't you navigate?
All right.
Let us know how that goes.
Oh, there's already dice on the board. I think that do you guys know which dice were already out here?
Okay,
I'll roll a
feel
different
free
color.
to remove them. Yeah.
And to the left, we're already out, where my name is on top.
Okay. So that's going to be a 7-8. So 8 on the navigate, or navigate. And
okay, so one complication. Okay, so Siaf, why don't you do the recon and lookout? So roll with luck.
Yes, I do. I roll with luck. And my luck is 1. I get a 7.
All right. So there will be one complication, or you can mark weary. Take your pick. Did you want
Weary
to?
is on 2, so I prefer taking complication here.
All right. And finally, Pele, please roll to take point with valor.
I got an 8.
An 8. Choose one complication and you mark weary, or an additional point of jaded.
Well, I just got a jaded advance, so obviously.
And one complication. So we have
All right.
3 complications. All right. Rystock. What is the complication Oh wait, you also didn't have weary with everybody, do you? You don't have camaraderie with everybody, do you?
I actually do now. I've
Oh.
been slowly working my way there.
Awesome. So you don't have to choose that extra one. All right. So 3 complications. Rystock, what is your complication?
Let me pull this up. One sec. I've actually got the old doc open, so let me pull up in the new one. Do we have any NPCs with us?
Sure. Not many, but probably a few.
Not many. So if there's anybody I want to have take the bullet for us, I can. One sec.
Something followed us home. That sounds good, for example.
My computer is having trouble with this PDF again. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I think the mission was particularly hard on me. I've been through a lot lately, and it's like, at this point, like, I mean, we'll see how the mission itself goes, but like, it's almost like getting to be like too much for me to contain at this point. So that means I'm going to mark weary and jaded.
Sounds good. Siaf, what is the complication you're going to choose?
We take something home with us.
Ah, right. Something follows us back. And finally, Pele, what is your choice?
The shadow took hold of me for a time. I marked jaded, and the MC will say what I did.
Oh boy. All right. All right. So you guys succeed, which is you are able to fight off. You will be able to fight off the shadow from this village. Rystock, how is it that your weariness had kind of failed you? I mean, led to your failing your fellow watchmates?
So, I think at this point the whole thing is starting to feel really hopeless to me. I think there's like a moment where I'm just like basically like almost cracking because like I realize we're actually going to succeed in this like desperate like mission, but that like as soon as we get back to camp, we're probably all screwed anyway. So I'm like, barely keeping it together at that point, and that like being sent on this like desperate mission did like, whatever it was, I thought we were, at least gonna like die fighting out here, and like that itself was like enough. But when I realized that's like not gonna happen, it's like starting to take its toll because like I don't know if I can confront SO again.
Okay. So what does this look like when you have this realization?
I just think that I kind of just go kind of dead in the face a little bit and like kind of keep on sort of like hacking through the shadow, like, wherever we are, like still doing the mission. But like at this point, I've kind of like zoned out a bit.
Okay. Siaf, what is it that you missed? Or I should say, what distracted you when you were doing Lookout and when you were keeping an eye on things?
there are certain memories from yesterday night which come back once in a while, and they are highly distracting because dubiously they might be connected to some murderer. However, there was something else as well, which is what was distracting me, and this is that there must have been the point where I was looking for hiding was a camp from people from the watch a long time ago, and I find like leftovers from them there. Maybe I found something there which is related to what was coming with us to our.
And Pele, you took point. What was the last thing that you remember before the shadow took hold?
Last thing I remember before the shadow took hold. Looking at CF. Maybe that I never get her name right. Oh no, I did. Good me.
What was it that you were feeling when you looked at Siaf?
I don't generally trust her, and she just killed a bunch of people in camp. So I was trying to keep an eye on her.
And try to get away from me before I give you good advices, because they might not be so good as it.
I don't know that I trust your advice.
I think you shouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, Clan Morsh.
So Rystock, was this hopelessness kind of wearing on you the entire trip to the village?
No, I think that I found like on the way there, because it was like kind of a desperate mission that Esso expected us to die on, I felt like even if I didn't acknowledge it, some relief. So it was only that when we started like to succeed that like I kind of felt that all kind of crashing through.
And Siaf, what did you find at that little camp that you didn't tell anyone about?
Well, people still write letters to friends, to lovers, to family, and letters can be blown away by the wind in scary situations, and you might not find them again. And usually the wind washes them away into the rain, but sometimes the wind doesn't do so, but is hiding in a safe place. And I found one such a letter, which was written by somebody in the camp, in our watch. And I'm very eager to learn more about what is written in there.
Okay. So Pele, you were looking at Siaf and feeling distrustful of them. And I think there was a point where you think there's a point where you came to at least feel as though you wished you didn't have to trust anyone, that you could completely just fend for yourself.
Oh, lone wolf.
And I think it was at that point, that kind of, however brief it was, moment that you felt as though you didn't need any of these people who you've, up until that point, were so committed to protecting, that the shadow took hold of you. And I don't know, I don't think that any of the other watch members, I think you vanished for some period of time, not in the same way that Rezi did. But in the haze of battle or whatnot, I think that the shadow touched knew that you had been taken, and so left you to your own devices. And I think while you were, I think you went roaming around the village. When Rezi appeared and kind of like snapped you out of whatever it is that you were had been doing, what hints did you have at the kind of the level of horror that the shadow had while they had control over you?
What do you mean? Sorry, I got a little lost in the lab there.
So the shadow controlled you,
yeah,
and had you do some pretty bad things.
Okay.
What was evidence of those bad things?
Evidence of those bad things.
And or what are the memories? What are the little snippets of memories that the shadow kindly left you to think of?
So you said there were men at this place that the shadow took over? Yeah.
Sure.
So,
or we're trying to take over.
I think the memory that haunts Pele the most is handing over boy children to the shadow by like killing anyone in her way.
Okay.
So I think she remembers like little boys screaming and crying.
And Rezi, where did you find Pele? What was she doing when you found her?
I found her in a dormitory room where a lot of the children are raised. Maybe, let's say, a nursery, or like maybe a schoolhouse or something. And it's completely empty now, and she's rocking in a corner.
Okay. And what memory does this scene bring to you about your missing time?
For me, I think, or actually, I've been in similar situations in other villages, but instead of handing over, receiving them. for the shadow.
All right. Okay. So eventually you fight off this small horde. And your small group kills off most of them. Many of them flee. But Siaf, I think as they're running and as they leave, I think that you specifically notice them looking when they kind of turn their heads on their way out, running. You see them looking at Rezi.
Important for me to understand what these looks mean. Do they try to communicate? Do they look in fear? Do they see something familiar to them?
I don't think they are, well, let's see. Trying to figure out if this qualifies as looking beyond, per se. I'll just leave it at that. So you guys don't lose anyone. And for once, the wounds and the damage to your squad is relatively light. You make your way back to the garrison, and when you get in, people start looking strangely, also happily, also with distrust. All of these looks are pointed at Rezi. And I think there are a number of kind of under the breath comments about what did you do with Yeli? Where is she? And the like.
So I definitely want to know the same thing. And I don't have any recollection off the top of my head. Right now, I would like to look beyond and try and recover those memories. Or, what was that actually Yeli that I went with? What happened with Yeli / the creature when they took me? That. Oh, yeah, we do need to highlight moves.
Yes. Thank you. All right, so Siaf, what is one scene that you recall from the mission where you had a meaningful moment where you shared a meaningful moment that you shared with Ryestock?
Well, it was very meaningful to her. And I was just watching. That was when she was broken down and beat up. And that repeated itself later with Pele. And still, it was the even stronger moment for me in that moment. So that was a strong moment, and it was meaningful, and it defined my relationship anew with the rice stock.
Okay. So what move would you like to highlight?
That, you decide that? Okay.
Yeah. Let's do provoke someone.
That would have been helpful in that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, it's never too late.
I tried that, but it didn't work.
And I'm going to highlight Let the Shadow In. Rezi, who do you feel like you had a...
I mean, I think the obvious answer is Pele when I found her in the school. And just to add a little bit of color on that, I think, in my overprotective nature, squatted down and grabbed her by the shoulders and kind of shook her out of it. Didn't really say anything, but we both locked gazes and had that moment where we realized that the other one has been in the exact same situation, and we both have that haunted look behind our eyes.
Nice.
So I think you should open up to someone.
Sounds great.
And I think you should provoke someone. And I realize I should be asking individuals who they want to have a moment about, but we're a little limited there. So, Siaf, I guess that gives you... No, you already went. Never mind. Rice Talk.
Yeah, I think it would have been finding Pele again, because that was kind of, for me, succeeding in the mission didn't mean anything to me, but because it was unexpected finding Pele, that for me is like the one like bright spot in this mission.
Do you mean Rezi?
Rezi, right. Yeah, that's what I mean. Also because I think that because she's been gone this whole time, maybe she could have some key to figuring out this whole situation. She might be able to help us. And I'm glad to see her again.
All right. Rezi, what should Rice Talk highlight?
I think Let the Shadow In.
All right. And I'm going to say... Let's go with provoke someone, because, that's just going to come. And that leaves Pele?
Yeah, has anyone not been a person for somebody?
I think...
Has anyone not gone to shows for people?
There should be somebody.
Who has not been highlighted yet? I guess Siaf?
I have
Am I right?
2 moves.
Oh, okay. Rice Talk, have you already had yours done?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, who hasn't been chosen to be the one choosing for people?
I didn't choose anybody.
All right,
Oh,
cool.
okay.
So
Sorry.
yeah,
Yes.
done.
That way around, yeah.
Just trying to spread the love.
Right. Yes.
Good.
Oh, CF though, man.
Yeah. How did you have a good moment with Siaf?
Oh.
That's unusual.
It doesn't have to be good. It just has to be meaningful.
That's true.
Well, when I wanted to sing songs with you. That was
Oh, no. In the mission in particular.
in the mission. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I think there was that moment when I was like watching you and we made eye contact, and you literally said, "Don't turn around." Like you gave me some actual advice that was useful, and I decided not to listen.
Oh, that was a bad
And that's
idea.
when I turned around and the shadow got me.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I think that was a moment where I was like, "Oh, maybe you're not just creepy."
No, I just give you -2 whenever you don't do what I want. Yes.
Yeah, that explains everything. So
Yeah.
I need a highlighted move.
Yeah. So, I think we should get to know each other better and should blow up some steam together.
Right.
Sorry, dog's having a freak out.
Is it a whippet or an Italian greyhound?
It is a whippet. Good eye. Very good eye.
I worked in pets for 10
all right.
years.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. And I will say, open up to someone.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, let us take a 10-minute break. That work for you guys? Awesome.
Yeah, I need to make tea.
Yeah, I need to entertain the dog a little bit.
So, Ristok and Siaf both have provoked someone and let the shadow in. That demands some misery, I would say.
Oh, we'll see. Remote can go well some of the time. Same with the shadow in. We just have to hit the rolls.
Ah. Like maybe that's something I haven't read the rules that carefully yet. Let the shadow in. It sounds very what spiraling.
Well, there's resist the shadow and let the spot and let the shadow in. Let the shadow in is almost like gaze into the abyss, where I mean it can go poorly if you roll poorly, but otherwise you can get some useful information.
But I mean, just from the name, it sounds like. I mean, the shadow is bad things. Systemically.
We have so much to learn from it, though.
I was about to say, talk to the spider about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
If
right.
you have such a reasonable spider.
Hmm.
Nothing to worry about.
So, excuse me. So you guys get back to the garrison, and Rezi, you are hearing kind of both shouts and whispers about where's Yelly. And Rystock, you've been informed by a middle person that Esso is going to want to have Rezi questioned about where they went and about where Yelly is.
Okay.
And the person who passed this on to you, you don't get the feeling that this is going to be, sitting down for tea.
Okay. Well, I think that probably what my general plan is gonna be to take Rezi back with me, so that I can at least one get a chance to find out for myself what's going on before they can touch her, and two, when they do come for her, we'll see how that goes, but at least have a move that I can invoke there.
Okay. So you're going to go take Rezi to your bunk, or to what's left of the infirmary?
I think the infirmary is destroyed, so I'll be taking her kind of I've got a few tools left and a few notes still at my bunk area, so I'm taking her over there, and I'll probably, if the messenger asks, I'll be like, all right, well, I'm going to lay her down and make sure she's okay, but you can send somebody for us whenever, or Esso can come for us whenever she's ready.
Pele, where are you going to go now that you're back? And now that I mean, you continue having glimpses of those kids. What are you going to do now that you're back?
I'm going to follow Reichstock and Rezi and kind of stand guard outside of their tent so that no one interrupts without them knowing someone's coming.
Okay. And Siaf?
I'm very much afraid that the attention of the watch could turn towards me again. So I'm a little bit relieved that currently all the attention goes elsewhere, and I want that it stays there as long as possible. So if there's a chance to make people know that there's a discussion, I will do so. There's some problem to discuss. There, over there, not here, not me.
Okay. So what is like? And is that going to have any impact on what Reichstock and Rezi are doing?
I hope not. But if it's necessary to keep me out of any problem around, then I would do so. But I don't think so, no. I'm just ducking behind the lines, so to say.
Okay.
Get my food. Peel a potato or something.
Just going to fade into the background?
As best as possible.
All right. So, and Reichstock, you are back at Reichstock's bunk.
Mm-hmm. And if we get a chance, I might before I turn to Rezi and figuring that out, I might see if I can quickly take care of Pele's wounds.
Okay. What are you going to do with Rezi in the meantime?
I'm going to, I'm going to let her lie down, I guess, or sit down. Probably have some tea back here as well. I'm telling her that, like, look, if you give me, 1 second, I want to talk about, what happened, what you can remember, what we can find out from this. But while we have a minute here, we're pretty beat up, so I want to see if I can take care of Pele first.
Rezi?
I'm kind of shell-shocked. Nod and take a seat. Really what I'm doing is, right now, there's just flashes of memories and disjointed time and stuff from when I was missing. And I'm really trying to make sense of it, what happened while I was gone.
Okay.
I don't know if that's look beyond, let the shadow in, or something else.
I think it'd be more let the shadow in than look beyond.
Okay.
Yeah. But let's well, yeah, I mean, let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Why don't you go ahead and
Okay.
roll let the shadow in.
I just rolled a 2.
Oh, okay. Okay. Right. Okay. I think Rezi is going to I think Pele is going to get pulled in by Reichstock, and I think Rezi is in this haze, going to kind of quietly slip out of the tent while Ryestock is taking care of Pele. And we'll come back to what's going to go on after that. So what does it look like with Pele and Ryestock?
Well, where have you been wounded? Because you've got 2 harm.
I got beaten by a crowd of people.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, yeah. If you got beat up by a crowd of people, then I think I'm probably going to be, I guess like massaging your whole body, basically. But I think that there's like some kind of like I've got like a jar that I pull out some like substance on, and it like really like it's got this kind of like weird sort of like tinkling sensation as I like rub it into your skin, like where all these bruises are.
Is there a turn someone on now?
You don't need to. I mean, you can just say that happens. That's quite all right.
I want to do a thing first. I'm just lost in sheets. So I think while you're doing that, Pele's gonna like. Oh, what's she gonna say? The shadow was inside of me at the place we found Resi.
Are you trying to open up?
Yeah.
Well, and I'll say, I mean, do you want to tell me about what you saw or what happened? Do you have a sense of it?
I know the look I saw in Resi's eyes is familiar to me. So whatever she's guilty of, I probably am too.
By now, the shadow's taken hold of every single one of us at some point. I mean, there's no easy way to resist it. You can either try to fight it and you can lash out at people like Esso does, or you can accept it and learn how to deal with it. That's what I do.
Yeah, well, you feel like you're dealing with it?
Keeping it together better than Esto is right now. I mean, I don't know. At this point, I feel like we're neck deep in it, so I don't know. I think we're barely keeping above water as it is. But, I mean, feeling guilty about it or, feeling like the shadows consumed you, I don't know if that's going to help.
I don't really know what's going to help anybody anymore.
Well, I mean, you always say in this situation is we go on fighting this war, but we've been fighting this war, and I don't know if we're getting anywhere right now. I think that, maybe if we can bring some of this stuff to light, not just about us and not just about Stiaf, but about the whole garrison here, maybe we could start bringing ourselves to terms with it in a way that's not completely vengeful.
Just be careful. I don't want to see anything happen to you.
We'll see.
So I completely failed this roll.
Oh, no.
I rolled snake eyes.
This is a repeat performance. Oh, man.
Oh, Lordy.
Well, let me roll the healing move at least while we're here.
Oh, good. Let's make it hurt more.
Well, it still heals you. It just also hurts more. Oh God, okay. So that's 3, 4, 5. I can spend 1 point of camaraderie to up that by 2, which gets us to a 7. So I'm going to spend that, and that'll lead
Wow.
us to a 7 to 9.
Wow.
That was for Mender.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me dig out your playbook.
So on a hit, they recover harm. 10 plus, choose 2. We didn't get that. On a 7 to 9, I choose 1.
Okay.
How is your weary? Your weary's fine. My weary's bad, but I'm fine snapping at people if I have to, or breaking down. I
You
think
can get the camaraderie back.
yeah, I don't know if there's a. Well, I mean, I could. I've still got one left over, so I'm gonna go with they don't need significant bed rest to recover.
Okay. Now, how much harm do I heal?
I believe it's just 1.
Yep. Uh-oh.
You there?
Maybe? No. Okay.
Here now.
There's just a second. I was trying to see as to whether scene.
Yeah.
Is there a hard move for my fail? It's also okay if there isn't. That's okay.
I mean, I don't throw it at you quite yet.
Okay.
Banking them sometimes.
Okay.
But you end up kind of wandering a bit. Brystock and Pele are a little too busy to notice. And you find yourself in a bit of a kind of a darker corner of the garrison. And you swear you hear someone whispering. And it's this you're not sure if you've heard it before, but it sounds familiar. But you can't seem to see or where it's coming from. But what it's saying is that Esso is a killer. It says this over, and you're slowly coming to believe it. And you eventually kind of find your way out of that area and go back to Rysock's bunk. But right before you kind of like you notice, let's see here, I need to find character. Oh. You noticed Troko, who is of Clan Morsh, with a kind of scarred face from many years ago, walking out of that. Now, Siaf, were you nearby when this was happening, or far away?
I must have been very close. Because whatever suspicious is going on there, I'm like an owl. I'm in the corner and I'm ready to hunt down what tries to go away. And my clan fellows, there are no clans, as I learned, anymore, are under highest suspicion from me.
All right. So, Troko notices you and walks over to you and asks you, so has there been any luck in figuring out who the murderer was last night? Any leads or suspicions?
No. No. I know what you want to hear from me.
Oh,
but I'm
do
not
you?
following along. I do not follow along. My agenda has changed. The Moorish have always been the best when they were flexible about their agenda, and I'm afraid you are not anymore. But I have learned through battle against the shadow, internally and externally, that certain things have to be solved in a different way than what you propose.
I hope that decision isn't final.
Nothing is set in stone. It's one of the principles of our clan. That goes still for me. But you need strong arguments to convince me from your position, sister.
Well, I sense that stronger evidence will be found at some point. And she nods and leaves you.
And I'm whispering behind her. I'm willing to make sacrifices, also personal. You just don't know, and that makes you weak.
So Rezi comes in as Pele and Rystock are finishing up. Pele, are you going to stick around, or is Rystock going to allow you to stick around while they work with Rezi?
I'm going to, again, stand outside the tent just to make sure that Esso doesn't come barging in.
Okay. So, Rystock, how do you proceed?
So I think I'm going to have Rezi, it's Rezi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rizzy, sit down. I'm going to ask her, so what do you remember about the time between us coming back to camp and us finding you again in that village? I mean, what sticks out to you about that? Do you remember any of it?
All I remember is turning around and seeing Yelly reach out to me, and her eyes were pleading for my help. And as one of my wards, I felt like I had to be there for her. I had to comfort her. And I reached back, and it's a jumble. I don't know. And Rezzy's I'm getting frustrated with myself. Tears are kind of welling up because I'm not used to not being in control of myself.
And while you're talking, I'm almost not even like listening to you exactly. I am not like directly tuned into what you're saying. Instead, I'm just like staring almost like through your eyes, like staring not just into your eyes, but like through them, as if I'm like gazing at like the back of your skull kind of while you're saying this. And I would like to let the shadow in to see if I can, I'm not trying to glean this directly from what she's saying. I'm trying to look in to see what I see like in her right now, to see if I can read something else out of this.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's re-roll these. All right, perfect. That is 11 plus whatever. 11
Nice.
plus the number of Jada moves, which gets us up to 12.
All right. So details are clear and distinct. So,
and one thing I'm interested in knowing here, I'm interested not just in where she's been and what she's learned, but I'm really interested in seeing if I can find anything that we can use to turn the tables on Esso potentially, or to at least open up everybody to the idea that the shadow's taken a hold of all of us.
So you mostly get just, brief kind of images. You once again see that sorceress who you first saw when you were doing the counter chanting. And you see her looking at you intently. And it's as though she gets larger and larger and larger in your point of view. But as that happens, like your vision starts to kind of fade and haze and eventually kind of turn to black. And you then see glimpses of yourself. Well, no, it's not you. It's Rezi. Going from village to village, convincing people that they will take the children someplace safe, specifically the boy children. And you see this over and over again. And the whole time in your head, whenever it is that you kind of notice this, you hear the voice of the sorceress and her laughter. She's obviously greatly enjoying this kind of use of this body. And it's very obvious that this is not the first time and probably not the last time she's done this. And I think that's all you get.
Okay.
So do you tell Rezi any of this?
I think I'm gonna calm Resi down and kind of comfort her, but I don't think it'll comfort her to tell her this, so I don't. I just kind of give like sort of the same thing I've said before, but just like the shadow's taken hold of all of us at different times. You know, these things, you know, happen. You can't really know what happened out there.
Right. So kind of the way I'm seeing this happen is, you know, Rezi started talking about, or I started talking about my experiences with you, and we see the camera kind of swing around and kind of take Rystock's point of view, and everything fades out, including Rezi from the picture, and we see that image, that image, her vision happen. And then when everything fades in, like Rezi is just a wreck, tears streaming down, just looking at Rystock and saying, and I think I did something horrible, and I don't know what it is, but I think maybe Pele. I think maybe Pele's been involved. Was involved in the same thing. I don't know why, but I just is that she's seen something like I have. So I'm trying to open up to someone.
Roll that.
This die roller hates me.
That's
like absolutely hates. That's a 4.
A 4. I can't help you then.
Yikes.
I wanted you to succeed so I could take my my jaded bonus and get 2 options here, but I guess not.
Yeah.
So
go ahead. Yeah.
So at that point, when you have said those things, you realize someone else was listening. Either someone coughs or more likely kind of trips on something, but someone overheard everything that you were saying. I'm assuming that they were behind your bunk or something of that nature outside. Hence why Pele didn't notice them. But someone.
If someone's crept into my tent,
knows.
I'm drawing my sword.
I think they were outside of your tent.
Outside? Okay, then I'm not drawing my sword just yet.
Yes.
Who was it?
Who was it that was there?
Yeah.
Oh. How many of these people are still alive? Oh, I kind of want to say Troco.
Okay.
Because, Clan Marsh.
Totally.
And who were you thinking about that prevented you from noticing them before they made themselves seen or heard?
Otak. She was the mother of the last little boy that I had given away. We were good friends. Probably not anymore.
If she's even alive?
I remember her screaming, so I don't know if I killed her, but she might be alive.
All right. I think at that point, when you kind of have that memory, I think I would like you to surrender to weariness.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of emotion going on with what was going on with Reistock and this kind of memory of Otak.
Erase all your weary and roll with All right. Do I even have weary? I don't think I do. No, I'm not weary at all.
Okay.
Not that it makes a difference here. Eight.
Okay. On a 7 and 9, erase all your camaraderie for the one person with whom you have the highest camaraderie.
Oh. That would be Reistock.
Excellent. So what is it that you do that makes that happen?
Oh, what do I do that makes that happen? I want to say that I saw whatever that person's name was again.
Troco?
Yeah. And it should have invoked something in me, and instead I just kind of walked away.
Okay.
Knowing Reistock and Rezi were talking about stuff no one should hear.
So what is it that you feel like you've done? So have you kind of...
I left them exposed deliberately. After telling Reistock I would stay and keep an eye.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, and you did this because, so in theory, the move says you emotionally distance yourself from those you hold most dear.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so you do that by just letting them
hang themselves?
By not paying attention, yeah.
I think it's the opposite of how
Okay.
the wolf is, like, the wolf is supposed to keep the pack safe, and it's like abandoning the pack. Like, it's that moment of like, yeah, well, whatever.
That seems legit.
May the bridges you burn light your way.
All right. So
I would be very happy if I saw all this.
You can do that. No one's stopping you.
Yes.
yeah.
No one stops me because I'm Mosh.
So
For now, until they
For-
kill me.
all right. So the day is moving forward. Ryestock, do you have a plan yet?
Well, we had the plan. We could still go with what we were thinking, which is, try to confront SO. CF, admits to being taken over by the shadow, and we kind of try to convince everybody from there. Now I'm really concerned though about what's happening with the boys of the Clanlands, because if this is happening like elsewhere, like it could be. I mean, I'm afraid that there's like a broader conspiracy going on here. I mean, so I almost feel like we should send somebody to warn like the other people, but I don't know. I'm kind of eager to confront SO first, I guess. So I can do either of those things.
Well, I mean, all you need to do is let time go by, or you can.
Yeah, I think that like what I've learned about what I've learned from from Resi in particular is I don't think that this isn't something that I'm just going to let time go by on. I mean, I'm either going to maybe I could go and talk about this with CF, but I'm like almost inclined at this point. Actually, you know what? I'm probably going to go out in search of Pele because she just vanished on us. I mean, did I find out who was outside? Because I probably went out there and looked around. Was I there soon enough to see?
No.
Okay, nobody out there. And Pele has vanished. Do I notice CF anywhere? Because CF said that she was at least in the vicinity, right?
I am around, yes. I'm trying not to be too provocatively in the open.
Well, then maybe I don't notice
Friends
you.
like the Ristock, I'm always available.
Pele, do you think that you just kind of like wandered off, or did you go someplace in particular? Did you go someplace far away? Is it someplace that Ryestock could easily find you?
Yes. There's this old tower, long abandoned. Does that sound good?
Possible.
It's a perfect place for an owl to hide out and to see what's happening.
Where did Pele go?
I'm gonna go invite SO out to blow off some steam and have a drink. Stick that knife into Ryestock a little deeper.
Perfect.
Wow. All right. Well. So, I mean, SO is in her office, not unsurprisingly. I need to check what clan she is. She
Tulso.
is Tulso.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do. Right. Okay. Okay. So you knock on the door, and she tells you to enter. And she's perplexed by seeing you there. She certainly was not expecting you are a
Multho, I think.
warden. Yeah, Malthus.
I think. Yeah, Multhos.
Warden, what are you doing here?
I have like 2 clay mugs of that like disgusting moonshine stuff they've been making here. I'm gonna set one down on her makeshift desk and kind of offer it to her.
She's she's certainly a little hesitant. It's a little early in the day to be drinking this, don't you think?
Well, when the shadow can attack at any time, time stops to have so much, meaning. Live while you can.
Was there something in particular you wanted to discuss?
How you're feeling, how you're handling all of this command. Things are falling apart.
I'm not sure I would say things are falling apart.
How would you put it then?
I would say that there's been some missteps, but I think they'll be handled in due time.
Of course. So you would say you're handling all this well.
Are you trying to provoke someone?
No, I'm trying to get her to drink with me. I'm not trying to get her angry.
Okay. I'm not quite sure that you need to be concerning yourself with how I'm handling these things.
I'm not concerned in the sense of like how well you command. I'm actually more concerned with how you're doing. This is a lot for anybody.
Have you drunk any of it yet?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
There is zero hesitation. Haley
So
will pretend they are drinking, even if they are not.
Okay. So, she drinks some, and says, "This is a particularly foul batch, isn't it?"
Well, I hear supplies have been limited.
Something like that. What we've been having lots of issues with people trying to bring back the clans, as it were. Don't you
I've
think?
noticed. Yeah, I got the shit beat out of me just for that.
Sometimes I worry that that's going to be our downfall.
Well, maybe you should come drink with everybody instead of here in your office.
I'm not quite certain how that would help things.
The more we mix everybody together, the more people will get along. The more we sit in our corners with our own clan, the more we'll be separate.
I don't see any Tolthos around here.
There's not many of my people left either, but the point is they aren't our people anymore. They're all our people. Come on.
I think at that point, someone knocks on the door. Do you open it?
It's not my office. Should I get that?
Would you please?
Yeah, I open the door, drink in hand.
And there's Troko. And looking in and says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Lieutenant Commander. I didn't realize you were well, I'll come back later." And you can see that Esso is both looking embarrassed and also looking suspiciously at you.
She looks embarrassed. I'm gonna look at her and be like, friend of yours?
Not exactly.
Oh.
That one, I think, is a striver.
Well, Esso, why don't you come have a drink with me? Sit outside, pretend you're a human being for a little while, and we'll carry on.
I will, let me just finish up something here, and I'll meet you out there.
Uh-huh. So I'm gonna go drinking. I think I'm gonna blow off steam.
Okay.
In theory, if I can succeed a roll.
Go for it.
Hey, that's a 9.
Hey, choose one.
I want to realize something that's been eluding me for some time. Particularly about Esso. I want to know what's going on with her, but
I think you kind of put the pieces together that that Troko has been doing a good job of setting up Esso for the fall.
good to know.
And that Troko seems to always be around when there's some little bit of information that shouldn't be heard is heard.
Okay. I'm gonna I feel like her office is kind of near where our common area. I'm sit very as close as I can get towards the commander's place and just watch, waiting to see if Troko comes back.
Okay. So we left Rezi and Rystock and Siaf. Siaf, you're in your high up in your tower. What would you like to do?
I still have a letter to consult. The letter I found.
This is true.
And I'm waiting for a visitor. I'm expecting somebody.
Oh,
Yeah. The one who will come knows already to come. I think so.
all right.
Otherwise, I try to keep my outlook there, to have a very careful look what is going on, especially with my fellow clan member.
Well, you certainly see Troko having gone to the lieutenant commanders, however briefly, and you've seen them going and chatting with groups of watch people. You can't hear what they're talking about, but your very good eyes see the grim looks on all of their faces.
Yeah. And sometimes small little details help you to understand the situation. Others might overlook this. But my eyes have been trained for years, watching over marketplaces, over empty hills with just farmers on there, and like all kind of other places I'm not talking in public about I've visited. Maybe I see something which nobody else would see. Maybe I can look beyond.
Go for it.
That's a 4 plus 1 is a miss. Yeah, there's nothing which could help me here, I think. No.
You don't have, let's see here. You told you so. Okay. Okay.
Hope I don't get the wrong impression here. I would hate it if I think there's urgent action necessary and there isn't.
Rezi, what are you doing? At this point?
Sorry, you broke up. Is that?
Oh, I was asking
me?
what. Yes, I was asking what you were doing during this time.
Okay. So, I'd wandered off. Well, I guess I haven't wandered off. Now I'm.
You were a mess.
Yeah,
in
I'm.
tent, right?
I'm trying to pull myself back together, and has a, to put it kindly. So I think that look for something that's a little bit more comforting. Are the stables still standing?
Yeah.
Okay. So since I come from herders, I'm gonna go over to the stables and go horse work in. Try and exercise that bond. You know, use it. It failed me. Want to kind of check in on that and see if it's still stable and usable, and try and just gather my thoughts.
Okay. Is this you blowing off steam?
I think so.
Okay.
And I have a move that says when you blow off steam by physically exerting yourself, roll a training instead of luck.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, that's a 5.
Jesus.
Like, I haven't rolled, my highest single die roll has been a 2. I've rolled 1s and 2s all day.
I've seen more misses in this campaign than any other Gauntlet campaign.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed. And like a long time ago, I know there was a bug with the roller with the dotted dice, but that was consistently rolling only 1s, 2s, and 3s. But that's not happening now. Just really bad rolls.
I don't think I've succeeded at a single roll this entire campaign.
Wow. All right.
I got an 11 a minute ago, so it's given us some good rolls. I don't know.
Yeah, they're in there.
Yep. Right. Okay. So so you go into the stables and it's pretty empty in there. And you're alone in there. And you hear laughter. Specifically, that laughter that you've heard in your head when you were taken over by the sorceress. And you turn and look, and you can't find where the laughter is coming from. But it is making you just frantic because it's getting louder and louder in your head. And then suddenly it's replaced. And it's replaced by crying. And in the corner of the stables, they're lying crying. Is Yelly. And I'm going to say let's take about a 5-minute pause.
Okay.
Ryestock. And did I understand that you were on the way to me?
I was curious as to whether you were in the vicinity. I think that right now where I'm probably going to be headed is to, I think there's something very serious going on with like the children. So I'm trying to send a message to the other, garrisons or other cities of the Watch to let people know.
With the children.
Right, because it seems like there's like a shadow conspiracy to kill all the boys in the kingdom.
Oh,
Or at least in our vicinity. If it's happening across the board, it could be very bad.
Ah.
Alrighty. So, ended with Rezi finding Yelly in the stables.
Right. Ooh. So this is my
What do you
second
do?
time. Yeah, this is my second time encountering Yelly in strange circumstances. I'm already kind of a mess. And kneel down about 5 feet away from her and ask, and Yelly, is that you?
Sorry, I think it might have broken up a little bit.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm asking Yelly if it's really her.
Yeah, it is definitely her. And when she hears your voice and sees you, she like grabs you and hugs you and tries to hold you, though she's extremely weak.
I immediately into my arms, urging for Ryestock, take care of her, get her some bed rest, check her out, if we can get her back on her feet.
Okay. Siav, you are you're up high up in this old tower, and you see about 15 people, maybe 20, heading for Esso's office. And they all have that look of grim determination. What do you do?
Very likely. I have put down 10 of our sisters. I don't want to have anybody else going down. And so I will go there as quickly as I can and alarm the camp to stop a bloodshed. If it costs my life, I'm fine with that.
So you're going to head down from your tower to go and try and stop them.
Yes.
Pele, you're near the office, and
Yep.
a large contingent of people just go barging straight into Esso's office. Do you do anything?
I'm gonna follow. Who's leading them?
Troko is, with a couple others who are both from Malthus and from, Malthus and from Royshan as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow in and kind of actually go to the side so that I'm watching more than in either camp.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yes. So Esso obviously is surprised, and as the room fills up, she starts looking more and more nervous. And Troko nods to a couple of them, a couple of the other watch members, and they seize Esso. They grab her. Two of them grab her by the arms.
I'm gonna step in at that point then.
Okay.
What are you doing? Prevent bloodshed.
I and a number. You're gonna prevent bloodshed.
I mean, I'll talk to them first.
Okay. So so Troko says, I have done my own investigation into the murders of last night. I did not trust Esso to come to the proper conclusion.
The proper conclusion or the right conclusion?
Right conclusion.
So where's your evidence?
And she turns, and there are a number of bunkmates of the slain who all say that they saw their rooms that night.
Well, the only way you would have saw that is by some sort of trickery or magic. Perhaps the shadow.
So it says, I'm sorry. Are you asking? Sorry. Are you saying that they're lying?
Well, no, I think they think they're telling the truth, but I think you did something to their heads.
Are you trying to provoke someone?
I guess. Yeah. I question some of the moves in this game.
Yeah, that's fair. Why don't you go ahead and roll for that?
I'm clicking. 4,
You roll
5,
with
6,
luck.
7.
Hey, 7.
Oh.
All right.
The reaction I'm hoping for is I want her to, like, become the evil person we all know she is.
On a 7 or 9, they act, but the MC decides how.
Yeah, but see, I have this move called Reckless Abandon. So when in a
Oh.
dangerous situation, mark jaded and suffer harm to turn any roll to a 10 up.
Oh, hello. All right.
Some of us got a little jaded over the last couple sessions.
Apparently. So
I'm going to do that. So I think I'm going to grab hold of her and push her against the wall to try to, like, I don't know, knock the evil out of her. I think that's probably how I get hurt.
be gone, Satan.
Show your ugly face.
And so at that point, she, let's see, you were, okay, so yeah, so she, so you slam her against the wall. And at that point, she pulls a knife. And you said you take harm, if I remember correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she stabs you. I'm going to say in the hand.
I heard this.
And screams out, obviously not thinking, I will not let some dog shut up. I will not
really
let
confused with it.
I know. Not let some some cave dwelling mountain trash and or better and she obviously says this too loud. Right? And a number of people turn and look at her with questioning looks on in their eyes. Ryestock, did you hear the, I guess, what were you closer to? Were you closer to hearing Rezi calling for you, or were you closer to hearing what was going on in the...
I mean, at this point, this whole place is really, really going to hell. I think that I am at this point gearing up to leave. Basically, I was gonna say goodbye to Pele before I left, but I don't see her in all the commotion. My like main goal here is to. I mean, I think that there's something terrible afoot, like where the shadows like taking the children like of the realm. So I need to get this message out. So I'm gonna ride to the nearest garrison basically, but I'm pretty much gearing up to go. I probably leave like Pele a note because I can't find her anywhere, but I'm definitely not going up to Esso's tent right now, given everything I hear up there.
So are you going? So you're going to probably end up seeing Rezi and Yelly. What do you do when you see them in the...
Yeah, I mean, if they're
stables?
I mean, I basically tell, yeah, I guess that's where I'm going to prep this. So I see them on the way there, and I at that point I don't know if I can necessarily trust either of them. I think this mission's almost too important to bring two people who've been compromised by the shadow along with me. So I'll say, Rosie, you take care of her. I need to go. I need to tell people what's going on out here. You know, Rosie, you can take care of Yelly.
I'm gonna I mean, I'm already a pretty emotional wreck right now, and so I'm just gonna lash out and just, Rystock, you coward! How can you turn your back on us? Your own command, who need you right now? What, how
God damn it,
dare you?
Leslie! There is a fucking conspiracy to murder every child, every boy under 15 in the whole fucking land, and somebody's got to go tell everybody about this so that that secret doesn't get lost when everyone at this garrison fucking kills each other. So by all means, take care of Yelly, but she's your responsibility now. I'm sorry.
Rezzy, are you trying to provoke
conspiracy?
Rystock?
Yeah, I'm trying to provoke
That's definitely
Rystock.
provoke, yeah.
All right. What is the reaction that you were hoping for?
What I'm hoping for is that she will see how important the individuals of her command are, and that she will take responsibility for, especially Yelly in this situation.
Oh, well, I tried.
So, roll with luck, Rezzy.
You better hit so I can mark the weary and surrender to it.
That's a +1. No, -1. That's a 6. I have camaraderie with Rystock. I don't know if I can use help in this situation.
I think you have to ask someone to lend you the aid or cut you some slack.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I mean. I'm not sure.
Very big 3 words, as if they agree. You know what though? Maybe I'm willing to meet you halfway. You want me to take? So you want me to take responsibility for Yelly and everybody else at the garrison, right? Or everybody in my squad, at least everybody in the player characters.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I can help Yelly right now. What do you propose that we do with Yelly at this point? There's, an angry mob in the middle of the campsite. I've been being investigated by somebody as well. They're probably going to come for me next. I mean, what do you think what do you think we should do here?
I mean, I think
this is a time where you can take this into your own damn hands. I think it's time for you you're ready to step up. You know what? If you want, I am open enough to letting you spend the camaraderie to boost it and offer me the XP here. I'm at least currently willing to work with you. I've paused for a second.
Right. Was it on a 7 to 9 they mark experience if they give you a reaction amount. All right. So I want Yelly. I mean, look at her. She's practically comatose here. We need to give her some kind of safe space, but more than that, we need to bring our squad together. We need to be acting as a unit, not just, Sif is hanging out on that creepy tower, probably.
I haven't seen Siaf in hours by now. I have no idea where Siaf is.
Bob, you should know where your squad is. Come on.
I mean, I don't know. How do you think? I can't corral Siaf. I've tried. I have tried.
I have faith in you. You can absolutely do this. This is, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and this is about the toughest going that we've had to face thus far.
All right. 1 sec. Let me just look at one move real quick. Okay. I'm going to say, we'll get Yelly situated somewhere. But, after that, anybody who wants to come with me can come with me. But I'm not sticking around here. And if you want to get the squad together, we are leaving this garrison. And that's going to be, after we get Yelly situated, that's going to be on y'all.
Yes, let's get Yelly situated, then let's get the squad together, and let's go do something about what the Shadow's trying to do.
Okay.
So
So
Siaf,
yeah.
where are you?
Hopefully soon around. I was running to that
Yes.
place, but however, I can imagine when these two are arguing there in the open, I think I have a couple of words to tell them.
That is your job.
And tell them that is my job. And I tell you what, Rystock, Racy, you should get away from here as soon as possible. This is not a safe place anymore. I beg you, don't interfere with whatever is happening over there with Paley and what I'm doing now. Don't do so. And then I continue running because I want to intervene and rescue the commander of this watch.
You know what? I don't know. I'm tempted to still go with it anyway, so we can take the -2 forward and end this really tragically. After saying, "Look, I need to get out of here," you know, I'm getting. Both of us have -2 forward. Oh, you are such a devil. I think that's like what convinces me. I think that when you come in, that's what convinces me to go back down there. Is I call you after because like I'm like, look, like, you know, like that's what causes like the turning point for me. I'm like, all right, we have to go down there, get everybody together. Fuck Siaf. She is, you know, always trying to mislead us. We're going down there. Come on. So,
And I'm gonna go with you, Rystock, because you know I'm trying to get the unit back together. Stop with this infighting.
Yeah, and then can we like very quickly get Yelly situated in a tent somewhere so that we can move things along to
We can.
Troco
We can just
and Pele and all that.
We can elide that. It's fine.
We put her in a bed. We don't need to roll for that.
Yeah. She's been in the stable. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody is converging on the office of the lieutenant commander. So Pele, what are you doing now with a knife in your hand or through your hand?
Oh, should I be a bad person? I'm gonna look at the commander and be like, she's one of the people from the shadow. Do you want me to kill her?
And I think she hesitates.
Ah, fuck it, I attack her.
Who? Esso or Troco?
Troco. With her own
All right.
knife.
Nice.
Stuck a knife in me.
All right. Well, let's call this rely on your training
I'm
then.
gonna unleash the wolf.
Oh, right. You can do that too.
Yeah,
'Cause you're
I'm good at fighting things. And apologizing,
shit.
apparently. Oh, no. I hope I don't fail. It's gonna suck if I do. Excellent. 11. Ha! Ha ha.
Nice. So, what's the move?
When you attack someone, roll with Valor. On a hit, you harm them and choose one. Inflict terrible harm upon them or take something away from them.
Well, I think you already have their knife, so
Do they have anything that's
that
like
seems to be what you collect.
binding them to the shadow? That I would like be cinematically appropriate to notice and rip off of them? It's also okay if not. I can just hurt them.
No.
All right.
There isn't anything.
Then I inflict terrible harm upon them.
All right.
With a tiny little knife.
With a tiny little knife. Well, you know the right places. And so you attack her and you take her down, and there's just like the level of kind of pent-up aggression is so high that now it's just like pure like brawl in here. Like people are just going after each other, mostly along clan lines.
Ugh.
So this is what Siaf and Rezi and Ryestock come in on, is this melee in this office of like 20 people. Well, actually more than that, because some people obviously came and saw. So it's kind of broken out further. So there's just mass like fighting going on. What are you gonna do?
I do take the spear I have from the Roshan clan and smash it into the ground and scream, "There are no clans anymore!" And then I will reveal the bloody cloths I still have with me, which prove that I am the murderer. It's the shadow against us.
So, I guess you're trying to provoke everybody?
Provoke, or I open up. It's a tragic story, actually.
I'm leaning towards provoke.
All
Because
right.
you're trying to get them to do something, which I think is stop.
Stop. All right. I have a 7.
Oh, actually, that's a good point. Prevent bloodshed actually makes more sense, doesn't it?
I still have a 7.
Yes. So, prevent bloodshed, choose 2.
Bloodshed prevented,
Maybe.
mostly.
I'm the only one to bleed. I suffer harm.
Okay.
And I insult and offend those who still strongly believe in clans.
Okay. So you
And maybe somebody wants to kill me. I don't know.
so you say this, loudly, and there's definitely still some violence happening, but it kind of calms down some. And
I think that, like, as part of that, like, if someone moves on her to deal harm or kill her, like, I would say I will bring her to like justice at the nearest garrison. You don't need to worry about that. Like, if someone does step in, which is probably going to happen, I'll volunteer to take her to be delivered to an official justice and bring her to actual court. Whether or not I mean that, I'm saying that.
oh, well, I mean, certainly the people who certainly the clan members of Malthus and Roshan are going to start moving on Siaf because they want vengeance on their fallen comrades.
And I mean, since Siaf picked, you're the only one to bleed, and they probably will be suffering some harm, but I'll kind of be stepping in to prevent things from getting too out of hand. And the Roshan might especially be inclined to listen to me because I'm a person of some respect within Clan Roshan. And I'm even volunteering to deliver them to a justice that they know is a Roshan justice.
I don't know how. I'm sorry, my dog currently has a light bulb. Sorry.
That was my light bulb.
Yeah, I don't know. Duke. Sorry. So, I don't feel as though that they're going to be willing to. So they're going to start moving on them, but there's others who are questioning the people who were saying that saying that Esso did it, and they're getting strong-armed as well. And Esso seems to be starting to taking charge and telling people what to do. And it's not people are being told to take charge of people and to bind them and to take them to their bunks and keep watch over them. And that some sort of investigation and some sort of justice will be meted out. But it'll be done with rigor and not with vengeance. I think that's where we end.
All right.
Fuck you, Garrett.
Well, that wasn't the ending I was expecting at all. So, yeah, all right. Thank you very much for joining me for Tragic Tuesdays and playing the watch.
Thanks for running.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you guys want to do the debrief thing on
Oh, that's
Discord?
Right. Discord. Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
sure. You'll learn in a couple minutes.
All right, catch you over there.
Yep.